So hello guys, thanks for joining today's session. I could see only few of you have shown up here. Any of let it be there. So those could not join, they can watch the video because we cannot drag this session any longer. Next weekend, my target is to complete all the entire Power BI training because a lot of things are going on from my side. Okay, so in the last session we discussed about the all selected, all except functions, and also we took a look at the all except the remove filter and keep filter as well. So the all except gives the all function as we have seen is very much useful to remove the filter on the entire table, or if you want to remove a filter on a specific column, we can use all function. All selected function is very much helpful. In the case of all selected function, it respects the filter, external filter, and with the help of all selected function, we can display the visible total across the rows. For example, if I select beverages and dry fruits for these two category, what is the visible total? This is the one. Sorry, the visible total is this one, 25,110. For these two selected category, this total gets repeated here. Whereas in the case of all, it repeats the overall total for all the category. And the advantage of all selected, including all except, in the last session we discussed, the all except will remove all the filters except the column that you have used it in the all except function. Okay, that is what we discussed in the last session. And also the one second, we have the remove filter, right? So remove filter, let me just show you here the remove filter, keep filter and remove filter. So in this case, the remove filter is also same as all. Okay, so then you might be asking this, what is remove filter? I just show you remove filter related, remove filters measure. The calculate function. In the calculate function, we have used the measure total sales. This is nothing but sum of sales, sum of remove filters, dim category. So this is same as all function. All function helps us to remove the filter. Now the question is, what is the difference between all and remove filters? Remove filter is a syntax sugar. What is syntax sugar? For developers can easily understand. Okay, this is to remove the filters on this column. So that's what the all and remove filters. Look here, it repeats the same value. The overall total, all the categories put together, what is the total is, that is the one getting repeated here and here. Remove filters, more or less both of them are same. And the next one is keep filter. Keep filter, as the name suggests, it keeps the filters. For example, I have used this is the simple use case. Keep filter. So in this case, for category column, you can keep the filter. Do not remove the filter on this one over the category. One second, keep filters. Yeah, here I will use this keep filters Bangalore measure. Look here. So the application of this one is for Bangalore city alone, you allow the filtering. Okay, allow the filtering. So which means in beverages, how much we sold in Bangalore, in dairy, how much we sold here. So hope you understood the difference between all selected, all except, and keep filter and remove filter. All except and keep filters also, we can use the same thing. So I have told you the same thing. Even in the case of all except, I'll just show you here, all except, all except, one second. So here, even in the case of all except, remove all the remove the filters on all the columns except category. Okay, since we've used category, it does the filtering on this value. Okay, so look here, these two values are same. Okay, these two values are same. And in the case of keep filter, we are not going to remove the filter for a specific column or a specific condition. Okay, so in this case, Bangalore. So in this case, we can easily compare. So let's say my office is in Bangalore, corporate office in Bangalore, along with the overall sales in each category, how much we sold in Bangalore, we can see here. So you might be asking this one, if I select, let's say if I use a slicer for location, and if I select Bangalore, it show Bangalore. So why should I have a separate something there? For example, I want to see the overall, I want to see the breakdown of the sales across category, the overall sales. Along with that, I want to see this one. You can see this one. You can use, this is one of the use cases wherein you can use the key filter. Fine. So hope you understood all these things. Filters, all function, all selected, all except key filter, remove filter. So remove filter and all, both of them are same. There is not much difference. Next, we will jump into the table and relationship functions. We'll start with look at the lookup value and related value. Cross filter and use relationship. These two already discussed it. Now let us look at the lookup value. So what is lookup value? So I already created the measures for lookup value. Lookup measure. Look here. Oh, not this one. Oh, this is the one. Okay. So what is the syntax for lookup value function? The result column name and search column name, search value, and search to column name. So this is the syntax for lookup value. So what value we want to return it? Supposing you just imagine, I have given paper full of the sales transactions, but in that paper you have only the product key column, but you don't have the cost price of the product key in the paper which I gave it to you. So the paper, whatever I gave it, right? The paper consists of the sales transaction. For example, order ID, order date, and product key, customer key, location key, and so on. So if you want to find out the cost of goods sold, so in that case, or let's say your manager is asking you, hey, the unit price is not available in the fact sales. You need to, there is a separate paper wherein you will find the price for each product. So in that case, what you will do is you will, so you have the one paper on the right hand, so wherein you can see each transaction made by the customers. But to get the price for each product in each transaction, you need to look at the another price paper. In the other paper, you have the price for each and every product. The same way it works. So here, this is my fact sales table. In this, product key is here. Take this product key and search the similar product key in the product table and return the corresponding unit price. It is as simple as that. Look here. So here I have used lookup measure. Where I used it in the fact sales table. So the lookup measure. So this is the one. Lookup measure. I just gave the same meaningful name here. So here in this case, lookup value. This is basically a calculated column. Okay. And lookup value and fact sales product. In this table, fact sales, I have only the product ID column is there. I need to pick up the corresponding cost price from the dimension product table, because the dimension product table only I have the cost price is available. See here, let's say, in this case, you have list price is something like your selling price, but we wanted to know the cost price also in this case. So what I do is I pass the product ID from fact sales to the dimension product table to get the corresponding cost price for each product. That's it. The advantage of lookup value is you don't have to have the relationship between product and fact sales. Even if you don't have any relationship between your product, look here, this is my dimension product and fake sales. Even if you remove the relationship, it will work. It doesn't require the relationship between the tables in the model. Even if there is no relationship, still it will work. It will go and fetch the corresponding price. And if you look at the lookup measure here, 40, 40, look here, for each product ID, it fetches the corresponding for P001, P002, P001, P002, P003, P004. For it is correctly fetching the cost price from the dimension product table. So I just show you the dimension product table, product dimension. So here, this is my product dimension, P001. What is the cost price? 40. P002. So from this product dimension table, I wanted to bring in the product price. I want to make this cost price part of my fact sales, but fact sales, a lot of transactions are there. So the only way out is you can use a lookup table to do a lookup on that one to get that one. It is a very simple one. Okay, lookup measure. So here, if you click on this, you will find the lookup value function. The first argument is what value you want to return it. I want to return cost price from the product dimension table. In order to get the cost price from the product dimension table, I need to pass a product ID from my fact table to the dimension product table, so that I can get for each product, I can get the corresponding cost price. That is very much important. In this case, we don't need to any relationship between the table. So we have another function called related. This is somewhat similar to lookup value function, but the related function can only draw the value from one to one or one side to the many side. So what is the one side to the many side? What is the one side to the many side? See the dimension, product dimension. Take the same example. Product dimension is one side, because in product dimension, for each product, we have only one record in it. So we will not have the duplicate values in dimension tables. That is what we discussed in the past. So the dimension table is also called as a lookup table. That is just a terminology. Don't get confused with the lookup table with the lookup value function. Lookup value is a DAX function. The lookup table is a very common function, a common terminology used in any data warehouse project, analytics project. So the product dimension table, the same thing. So here the dimension table is one side, the many-sided fact sales. From the product table, I want to get the cost price for the corresponding product ID that are available in my fact sales. Same as lookup value table, but the only difference is in the case of related, when you use related function, you need to pass the argument column name, only one argument, and this related function, in order to use this related function in the table, the data model, relationship exists between the current table and the table with related information. Without the relationship between product dimension, fact sales, it will not work. That is what it says. So here I have given the meaningful name related measure. Look here, related function. Here, what I did, so dim product cost price and fact sales quantity into cost price. This one can give me the cost of goods sold. Okay, so here it is pretty simple, right? So I'm I just pass only one. See, I'm going to return only one value, cost price. Since there exists a relationship between product dimension fact sales, it picks up the cost price to the corresponding product IDs automatically. And then with the picked up cost price from the product dimension, I wanted to take a product with the quantity table so that I can get, so look here, 40. So what is my quantity here? My quantity is here 2. So we know already 40. Lookup measure also return this in the 2 into 40. See, so for this P001 product ID, P001 product ID, the cost price was 40. Since the quantity is 2, 2 into 40 is 80. Okay, and here in this case, let us verify this one. In this case, the quantity is 4. 4 into 40, 160. So now you understood the difference between lookup value function and related function. Lookup value function doesn't require the relationship between tables, whereas the related function return requires a relationship between the tables. In this case, product dimension and fact sales already has a one-to-many relationship. Hence, we are able to draw the value from, in this case, the value is cost price. The one side of the product dimension, we are bringing in the cost price to the many side. So one-to-many or one-to-one also you can use it. One-to-one, rarely we use it. Related table. Next, we have something else called related table. As the name suggests, the related table returns a table of values. It returns a table. Related table function changes the context in which the data is filtered and evaluates the expression in the new context that you specify. This DAX related table function requires a relation between the tables. Like a related function, even the related table requires a relationship between the tables in order to use this one. So the related table, so compared to contrary to related function, the related table function draw value from many to one side. Earlier one to many side, now many to one side. So what is the application of round table? I'll just directly jump in here. So look here, I have a product table, dim product table. In the data view, if you see what columns are up to this, we have the columns. These are the columns. This is the newly created calculated column. See here what I did. So there is a requirement from the management. In each product, how many number of transactions happen, right? So P001, this product was purchased in two different invoices. And this product purchased in 15 different invoices. This is the kind of report they wanted. So in that case, we want to pull the number of transactions from fact sales to the product dimension table. So what happens is we have used the count rows function and then related table function. So related table, what it does is it goes to the fact sales table and it finds out P001, how many number of times and how many number of transactions the P001 product is appearing 2 times. So this product has been purchased in 2 invoices or 2 orders, and P003 ordered in 15, P004. So in that kind of situation, you can go for related table. Related table is very much helpful to draw the value from many side to the one side. One side to many side is the related table. Got it? But related and related table requires the relationship between the two tables. And the next one is the cross filter function. Cross filter function returns no value. Remember this. This is very much important. Cross filter use existing in the model adding relationship by their endpoint columns. Okay, so this one I already discussed it. Probably you can refer my previous video. The cross filter function is very much helpful to, okay, I'll explain you when it is helpful. One more time, I will repeat it. Look here. So here, if you look here, we have the fact sales and we have the calendar table and that location dimension. And if you look at the product table and fact sales, the data is flowing down from your product dimension to fact sales. And similarly, in the calendar table, the date is flowing down from the calendar to your fact sales. Unidirectional, it goes in the single direction. But if you look at here, the product and fact sales, both of them got, so we create a relationship between these two tables directly. But in the case of category dimension table, what happened if I want to filter, the category, for example, I want to, let's say I want to use my category table to filter the fact sales. It is not possible because there is no direct relationship exists between these two tables. This is what I discussed. You remember cascading slicer. When I discussed about cascading slicer, I have used a cross filter function. Okay, so if I wanted to use my category dimension table to filter my fact sales table, we don't have direct relationship. But this table got linked with this table and this table got linked. So the direct category table has an indirect relationship with fact sales. In order to filter, in order to use my category table to filter my fact sales table, I need to enable the relationship bidirectional relationship, so that these two table has one-to-many relationship, and this table go back and filter the category table. If this table can filter this one, obviously, so this one can filter this one. Since this one can filter this one, we can use the category table to filter this one. So let me just show you where I used cross filter. I think yeah, cross filter measure. No, this is a different thing. Here, let me just show you one second. I'll just show you with another example. See, this is the slicer. I'm going to create another slicer. Same thing, I'm going to do this one here. And for example, here in this case, I'm going to if I select beverages, this one get filtered because one to many. And for example, if I select cashew nut, it is filtering it here. Product table also filtering it back. That is possible because we have enabled the cross filter direction both here manually. If I remove this, if I make it single, if I make it single, what will happen? So category table will, see the product, yeah. Once again, category table can filter this one, whereas product table cannot filter dim category because unidirectional relationship. So this is earlier it was a bidirectional relationship. Now it is not. For example, if I select beverages, category table can filter the product dimension table. So if I select dairy fruits, cashew nut and dry grapes got filtered correctly. But if I select cashew nut, it is not filtering this one. The product table is not able to back filter this one because the it is the filtering is, see, the relationship flows from category table to product table, whereas it is not happening in this direction. It is not happening in this direction. You understood? The filtering bidirectional relation, only when you have the bidirectional relationship, you can use it. For example, if I go back here, if I go back here and if I enable both, it will work. If I enable both here, it will work. So look here, where the moment when I enable the bidirectional, cashew nut belongs to dry fruits, and dry grapes and cashew nut. So these two belong. Or for example, if I select coffee, coffee belongs to beverages. Now I'm able to do the. So in reality, in real life scenario, the bidirectional, enabling bidirectional relationship permanently or setting the property as both here is not the best practice. Instead, you can create a measure and use that measure For example, I'm going to create a cross filter measure here. I think most of you forgot this one. That's why I advise as and when I complete the training program, right? Each and every session you need to review because you have 1 week time. Anyhow, don't worry. I will explain it one more time. Cross filter is equivalent to calculate. So here the left column name is category. Here, 1 second. Let me see if I already have something from my. Okay, here. Okay, so this is my cross category, comma, and here, what is that? The product, dim product. You need to give both. Okay. CF. But if I execute this one, it will throw an error because you need to use calculate function. Okay. And something like count of so this is the one count of something. Okay. And what is that? Okay, I just use total sales here for the time being because you cannot use cross filter function directly like all function. Cross filter function. 1 second, let me calculate function. So here, 1 second here. Cross filter function can use only 2 column references. Okay, sorry. This is category, right? Product and category is correct only. Okay, let me do one thing. Both the table have the category column. 1 second here. In category or cat ID, right? So let me use that column. It is a cat ID. Let me see if we have. So these two are linked with cat ID and cat ID. Okay, so you need to come back here and here. So here, something 1 second here. Cross filter, right? Is correct only the syntax cross filter. So syntax is correct only. Okay, because cross filter and 1 second, this one and this one is correct. And product key. And here it is correct only. Calculate function.
मेरे को इंटरनेट बैंकिंग पासवर्ड आएगा, तो बैंक में जाके जमा करवा के
No, do one thing.
मेरे को बता दो। 6-7 दिन में बॉम्बे से आए।
See what I did, I created a measure. So in this case, you cannot use a cross filter directly. You need to use calculate function in order to enable bidirectional relationship using cross filter function. The first argument is supposed to be your aggregation function. In this case, what happened? In each location, how many number of products we sold, right? So that is what we needed. So in this case, actually, you wanted to use the fact sales to filter back product table. Since as per the link or the relationship, the existing relationship, so you can filter the product table. You can use the product table to filter the fact sales. The opposite was not possible. In order for the fact sales to filter the dim product table, the one option is you can go to the property and enable the cross filter direction both. Okay, so that is not the right way of doing it, because once you enable it, it will become permanent. Just because doing one calculation, why do you need to enable it permanently? So what we do is we created the cross filter. We create a measure wherein we have used the cross filter function. Programmatically, we are enabling the bidirectional relationship between fact sales and product table. So the fact sales table can filter the product table and product table can filter fact sales, bidirectional relationship. Hence, what happens is, so here I can see the total number of products sold in each product. I can see it here. It is doing the filtering correctly. So this is what, this is how you can use the cross filter thing. And the next one is pretty simple. See, that is what cross filter uses existing in the model, identifying relation by the endpoint columns. Okay. And this is the example. So the row labels and sales amount, and each row or each year, how many number of products we sold, right? Something like this. So, but you cannot get it directly because of not having you did not enable the bidirectional relationship, right? So after enabling the bidirectional relationship, but here it is duplicating the same value, right? It's because you have unidirectional relationship. But in our case, we enable the bidirectional relationship programmatically using cross filter function. Next one is use relationship function. Use relationship, we already discussed how to enable the inactive relationship active till the duration of the computation, right? So we have done this already. I will share the link for that also. You can take a look at it. The next one is we will jump into the table functions. So far we discussed all these functions, table functions. So table functions, there are a lot of table functions are there. So we have something called data table. Look here. There is a function called data table. Okay. So in order to, as the name suggests, table, you need to use the table tools. You need to click on the new table, okay, to create a data table. Okay. So here the function name is data table. Inside the function, you specify the column name, like how you create a table in RDBMS. The same way. Column name, data type, column name, data type. And then you need to use the curly braces. And then your value should be surrounded by the curly braces. Since it's a function, it opened with this parenthesis and closed with close parenthesis. And here you need to specify, this is syntax. Okay, inside this, for each row you need to specify the value. So RE01 is the region ID, and region name is East, and 1 2 3 4 4. So once you create it, right, so you can do it. So you can create a table. So data table is something like a static table. We can create a table inside this one. For example, if you want to see the data table, as I told you, data table will return a table, it is not a calculated column. It is not a measure. So look here, data table, look here. So this one, so whatever the column name we define, look here in the data view, if you go there, so data table REG1, a new table got created, because the data table function will return a table. So this data table, if you want to create a data, if you want to use a data table function, you need to click on the new table, not the new measure, not the new column. This is not a calculated column. It is not a measure. It is a table. Hence, you need to click on new table. So here you need to use this one. Okay, since I already used the script, in the interest of saving time, I'm using the existing script to explain you all. Look here, once you execute this one, in the data view, if you go and see, you can see the table got created here. When you click on this, you can see the data here. Like how you see the data for other tables in the data view, the same way you can see. This is static table. And similarly, I created another table called REG2. One second. I just click on REG. Look here. Here also same thing I did, but the data values are different. So in the previous case, we have RE01, RE03. And here, look here, I just go back. Please remember this, RE01, RE03. In this second table, we have RE02 and RE03. And here, if I go to, I created another table called REG3. So here, if you see, the column names are a little bit different. The column names are a little bit different. And so this is how you can create a data table. Now the question is, when can I create it? See, not all the time you need CSV files or the Excel files. You don't need it. For example, you wanted to have something like actual versus budget, right? So you want to type your own, see the budgeted amount and actual amount will be set by the management, right? So they know the values. In that case, they can create the table like this. And if they want to compare the actual versus budget, they can do it. In that kind of situation, you can use this one. So here, let me do one thing. So we have a function called intersect. Intersect function also falls under table functions. Okay. The data table function falls under table function and intersect. So what is common between data table REG1, REG2? And it returns nothing. There is nothing common between these two because I just copy this one to a notepad. Here, R is 03. So everyone will tempted to think R is 03, R is 03s are common between these two, but the rest of the values are not common, right? Not same here. Here, north is not there. Here, the same value is not there. So if these two values, the entire row is same, then it would have written the intersect. The intersect is a set operator. You remember in SQL query also we can use intersect minus the same thing. We can use it here. Next one is except table. The except table will return only the left side of the table. So what is my left side table? For example, in the except function, the first argument I specified this table, second argument I specified this table. So here RE01 east and RE03, this is the value we have it. And here, so okay, how does this except function works, right? That is what you will be wondering about it. So let me just draw it. So this is my Venn diagram. This is my REG1. This is my REG2. So it will return only the left side of the table. So what is the left side of the table? This is the one, right? This is the one. So it will return only this one, except function. It's pretty simple. So it will ignore the common value between these two data sets, and it will not consider the values from this. It will consider only this side, okay, this side only. So this one, okay. So this side only it will consider the values. So that's why it is except function returns the left side of the value, the data table REG1. So in the interview, they might ask you what are the table function that you used. You can tell them you have used data table and intersect table. So intersect as the function, set function, except is also kind of a set function. And here's something called union. Let me just show you whether if I used union table, yes, union table is also there. And union. So in this case, what happened? REG1, REG2. So as the name suggests union. So A union B, school time is studied. So RE01 east and RE0 to north and RE0 to RE03, right? So all the values got combined. So union, A union B, right? So 4 rows got combined here. That is what union. School time is study. So union is the values from both the table. The intersect is the common value between the table, and except is, maybe you are not familiar with it. Except will return only the left side of the table. Okay. And the next one is we have something like select columns. This is another DAX function. Look here. So this is a little bit different, the select columns. And what I did here was I have used the union table. So what is the union table? Look here. So I just take the data here. This is my union table, right? So I cannot take all the values. See, RE01 or 01, 02, 03, 03, right? So 01, 02, 03. And here I want to show you which one I have shown you. Yeah, so this one. Select columns. Select columns is another function. See, this is called union table, okay? And so this table output, I'm going to take it. The 4 records, I'm going to take it. Okay, and then I wanted to combine the union table with REG3. So we have something else, you remember. So let me just take the REG3 also. I've shown you this table. Look here. This is what I have shown you, right? At the outset, when I started talking about the table function, I shown you these 3 tables. So what I did, I union these 2 things, combine the values of these 2 tables, and then the combined values got stored in a table called union table. And then what I do is, so I combined these 2 tables, REG1 and REG2, and I stored it in a table called union table. And then what I do is, now I want to combine I want to combine the union table with this one, REG3. So here I'm going to use select columns. Now you might be asking, union table, comma, data table, REG3, can't I give it directly? Yes, you can give it. But the challenge here is the column names are not same here. In the REG3, if you compare with, see, here region ID is there, region name is there, but here region name 1 is there. Sales is there, but sales 1 is there. The column names are different. Though the column names are different, but the data are same. Okay. But when you try to do union, it will go and check region ID, it will get combined. Region name 1, it will consider, since these 2 columns are different, it will not do the proper union. So in that case, yes, a select columns function is available, using which you can rename the column. For example, in the select columns, you specify the column, specify the table for which you want to rename the columns. The original column is region ID, and the data table REG3. In this, you make it region ID and region name. Okay, this is the actual, this is the name we wanted. Okay, and this is the existing name in the REG3. So look here, region name, rename the region name 1 as region name, and rename the quantity 1 as quantity. So rename sales 1 as sales. The select column is, in simple term, in this use case, it helps us to rename the existing columns. If you don't rename, what will happen? The union will not happen properly. Look here, after renaming the column, now we are able to successfully combine this table with the REG3 table without having any issues. So what did we learn as part of table function? We have some data table using which you can create a static table. And we discussed about the set operators like union, intersect, except, and also we discussed about select function, select columns, DAX function. Remember it, okay? So these are the functions that are very much helpful in real-time scenario. There are some situations, okay? We should be aware of this one. Next, we will jump into summarize function. The summarize function is very much helpful to do the summary, like a group by. If you want to do some kind of group by, you can do it with summarize. Okay, the first argument of the summarize function is table. The summarize function returns table here. Okay, and group by, you know what is group by and all. We discussed a group by as part of Power Query editor itself. Okay, so these are the arguments. So first argument is table, and second is group by column. You can specify more than one column as part of group by. Like in SQL, how do we specify? Same way. And what is the name for the summarizing column? So name one is nothing but what name you want to give it. Okay, and expression one. Okay, expression is sum of sales, something like that. And what is this? You can use more than one column to do aggregation, and you can use more than one column to do the group by using summarize. Summarize function returns the what table. Okay, so I just go back here and let me just see if I already created it. Yeah, summarize columns. Summarize column. We have something called summarize columns and summarize function. Look here. Here I want to do some kind of something like this. Okay, and I want to group by on location key, and then I want to sum the sales amount. Okay, and this is what no, not this one. Summarize. See, summarize is a table. It will return a table. See, look here. So what you need to do is, I'll tell you one thing. You can go to modeling tab and then click on new table, and where you need to put this command. Okay, summarize. So summarize function, because summarize returns a table, and also it takes the first argument as a table, and then second argument is group by which column. So if you ask me to write this in SQL query, select sum of fact sales amount. Okay, sorry, where it is? So did I do something wrong here? Okay, see here it is something else. Select sum of sales from fact sales group by location. Let me do it. Group by location key. Group by location key. And here the sum of sales, so as total sales. Got it? So this is the one. So this is the equivalent SQL query for this one. Okay, so I want to find out the total sales for each location. That's it. So to find out the total sales for each location, you need to specify the table name, and you need to specify the column name, and you need to specify what kind. You want to do average, or you want to count, or you want to sum. In this case, the aggregation function, I'm using sum, and the summed value will get stored in a meaningful column by the name of total sales. Got it? So that is what, but this summarize function will return a table. Sorry, what I do is I think I made a mistake here. I messed up the existing one. Anyhow, not a problem. Summarize fact sales. Okay, here I put so many things here. Yeah, so there's a problem. Line 4, during passing invalid. Line 4 offset 39 sales. Okay, so here sum of sales. Don't press enter when you type it. You need to keep pressing the alt key, press enter, and then you just see here. And so when you keep the cursor here, the corresponding the open parenthesis here, and okay, here what happened? Here the open parenthesis I missed out. Let me do one thing. Yeah, it is sales amount, right? Yes, that is the problem. Yes, now the issue got resolved. Since I typed this SQL query alongside of this one for demo purpose, the table, the column name mistakenly, renamed it. So what was the calculated? That is called calculated table. Summarize. So you need to see that to see the data. Obviously, you need to go to the data view. Click on the summarize. Look here, along with the calculated table script, we can see the data here. In Bangalore, total sales we made this much. In each location, how much sales we made in total. That we can obtain it using summarize function. Got it? So that is what summarize function is all about. Okay, so here I just go back to my this one. Look here, the same thing. So this is my grouping column. Which is my grouping column? Region is my grouping column. Not this one. Sorry, this region is the grouping column, and total sales. Sorry, the sum is the aggregation. Total sales is the name for this aggregation. Okay, you need to think that way. See, the region is a grouping column. Okay, and it is okay. I have some problem with my PowerPoint. The license got expired. Okay, the next one is we have something called a roll up measure. We have something called roll up measure. The roll up function, so not a measure, sorry, roll up is a function that you can use it with summarize function. It is very much helpful to calculate the subtotals. Okay, subtotals. And I will just show you one example for roll up. And let me do one thing. I just open something called DAX Studio, and you guys can go ahead and download DAX Studio from the Google. It is a open source. You don't have to pay any money for this. You can use it like how you use Power BI desktop. Same way you can use it. Click on this. It will take some time. The advantage of DAX Studio is, see, we have something called calculated column, and we have something else called measure, and we have something else called calculated table. If I want to use summarize function, I need to click on the calculate table function, calculate table option there. And if I want to create a measure, I need to go here. Look here, I need to go here and modeling and click on new measure. If you want to create a calculator, I need to click on this. If you want to create a calculated table, like I've shown you data table a while back, I need to click on this. So too much of back and forth here and there, right? So whereas here, whether it is a calculated column or measure, simply you go to one single place and create it. All I need is I need to test the functionality of my DAX query. That's it. Why should I go here and there, right? So look here, I clicked it several times. So they expect you to, in the interview, if you say your 3-year experience, they will expect you to be good with the DAX Studio also. But don't get worried about all the things, okay? Here, which one I'm using here? I'm using the demo. See, in this case, I have opened more than one Power BI report file. And when you open DAX Studio, you need to click on this down arrow. So first of all, you need to click on select the Power BI, and you need to select all filters, because in this report file only I need to connect. So my DAX Studio will connect to this report file. So look here, what all the things, right? This is the data table that I created. All the calculated table measures, calculated column, whatever I created, you can see it here. What are the tables that I used it, the dimension tables, everything you can see it. So on the right side, what I'm going to do is you need to click on something called query builder. Here you can specify this one. You can specify something like evaluate. And I'm going to say summarize. Okay, let me do one thing. Your fax sales, right? Okay, let me do one thing. This is going to be a little bit challenging. Summarize. Okay, at this moment, let me do one thing. I just click on this one. Let me check if I used the sales W04 somewhere, because there you have proper category column names are there. Categorical columns are available. So can you see sales W04 here? No, right? So here, and all filters too here. No, sales W04 is not there. I will show you little later about the roll-up function. Using roll-up function, you can do the subtotal and all. Okay, I will show you with this because that's a very interesting one. The data, what we have in sales W04, and that I will show you little later. And the next one is we have something called top n function. Top n is another function. This is widely used in the any analytics project. Top 10 customers, top 10 sales. If you wanted to see it, right, you can use top n function. So what I am going to do is I just go up here. Like I said earlier, I've created dedicated measure table. Here I'm going to click on new measure. First of all, in my data set, I don't have more than 5 or 10 customers. What I do is top 3 customers. I'm going to say top 3 customers. I'm going to use top n function. The first argument is the n value. So top 3. So if you wanted to see top 20 customers, you can say 20. N value is nothing but the top 10 or top 20, that value. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to use 3. And the next one is table is fact sales. And here the fact sales or instead of saying top 3 sales, okay, top 3 customers, you're saying top 3 customers, top 3 sales. And then I'm going to say descending. So you need to say by default it is ascending. Now it got okay, the expression with multiple columns. Okay, top 3 fact sales. Okay, here top 3 also returns a table. Yeah, this is calculated table. See, I intentionally did this. So here I clicked new table. This is not a new column. It's not a calculator column. This is not a measure. Okay, because the top n function will return a table, top 3 sales, right? So now look here. Now there are no error, and I just selected it. Most of them they do this mistake. Because the top n function, even experienced people, top 3 sales. Look here. If I click on this, look here. It shows me the top 3 sales here. Wait. Top 3 sales. Yes, this is the top 3 sales amount. These are the top 3 sales. And now look here, 18,000, 18,000, 18,000 is there. And all these 3 things are considered as 1 and 2. So these 2, right? So top 2, it shows only top 2. So you might be wondering, so the top 3, why it shows 5 records? Because these 3 values are same, right? Hence it's considered as 1. These 2 are considered as thing. For example, if I use top 4, let's see what happens. So yeah, the same thing. Okay, but here we don't have more number of records. Okay, that's the reason why it is not showing the top 3 here. And top 10. If I sorry, 1 second. Top 10. If I say top 10 sales. Look here, it shows the top 10 sales amount, right? and descending order. So ideally it should show it in descending order. Let it be there. Here, if you go here and if you select sort descending, so the top sales is this one, the P005 and customer ID C02 and this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something, right? It does the top N automatically. So 10 records, top 10 sales will show. So if you count here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these two records are also considered as part of the top 10. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 records. Okay. So top N, the first parameter is the number of rows to return. So here 10 top sales, and second parameter is the source table, and third parameter is the column name, right? So I want to order a table based on the sales amount, total sales or something. The fourth parameter is ascending or descending order. So that's pretty much about the top sales. Okay, so this is the top N function is also used widely in most of the analytics project. And the next one is we have something else called the rank X function. Probably I will show you the ranks is with because that table, the sales underscore W04 has a lot of data in it. Rank X I'll show you a little later. And next we will jump into the time intelligence function. So what is time intelligence function? So as part of time intelligence function, we have something called calendar function, calendar auto, and add columns. Likewise, a lot of functions are available. And before so calendar function already we discussed. You remember, 1 second, let me just show you here. Calendar, did I use it here? Yeah, this is the one. Look here, calendar. So this is the one. So look here, your start date, end date, if you give, it will generate the 1 second. It generates the dates sequentially from between the start date to till the end date. So 3rd March, 4th March, 5th March, likewise it will keep it will sequentially generate the dates until the 12 to 2022. So this is one of the time intelligence functions. And but the most popular one is total YTD, total QTD, and total YTD, my MTD. So month to date sales, if you want to see the month to date sales performance, or month to date if you want to see the total units sold. So in that kind of situation, right, we will be using total YTD, dates YTD function that we will take a look at it now. So what is month to date? How many of you are aware of month to date? Before we use this total YTD, total MTD, total QTD functions, first of all, can someone tell me what is MTD, month to date? So MTD, so we call MTD, MTD stands for month to date. I just use a text, go to this one and text box. I just, so that I can share this one, it will have all this information here. Okay, MTD. Here's something in the case of analytics, right? We use month to date sales. Month to date stands for month to date. So what does this month to date is? So it is the period starting from the beginning of the current month up until now. Starting from the beginning of the current month up until now, but not including today's date, because it might not be complete yet, right? So today's date might not be completed. If somebody is asking what is the month to date sales, so what is today's date is 17th July, right? So starting from 1st July to 16th July, sales they wanted to see it. Okay, we use a month to date to give information on a particular activity. For example, in the case of knowing the results on a campaign or so on, right? In that kind of situation, we'll be using month to date. Okay, and so in our example, month to date is 1st July to 16th July. Okay. So next one is QTD. So what is QTD? QTD stands for quarter to date. It is exactly same as month to date, but except the fact that you are looking at the time period from the start of this quarter to until now. Start of this quarter to until now. Okay. So this can be either the calendar or the first quarter. Okay. So in the calendar year, January, February, March, that is the first quarter. So now we are in which quarter? April, May, June. We are in third quarter, right? So we are in third quarter. But if you go by the fiscal year, in that case, we are in second quarter. Okay. And next one is year to date. So what is year to date? Year to date stands for YTD stands for year to date. So beginning of the current year up to but not including today. You need to remember, that's all. So these are the different, there's a difference between month to date and Q to date and year to date. So why this is useful? Okay, so this is basically helpful to get a picture of where we stand. Okay, for example, you work for a hospital that is concerned, right? It might be under-resourced or understaffed to deal with the demand this month, and needs to work out whether to take corrective action to bring in extra help. For example, in a hospital, right? You want to do some kind of, you want to make sure that whether you have understaffed, more the patients comes in, you need to make sure that you are staffing the adequate nurses or other staffs. Right, so to get a picture of whether you have staffed the adequate number of staffs, right? So you need to examine the hospital performance and compare the number of hospital admissions you have had so far this month with the number of admissions you had by this point last month, right? So this can help us to predict and prepare for our upcoming admission numbers. Okay, so in that kind of situation, this is a simple example. Even in the case of the sales, or in the case of the units sold, for example, how many number of products you need to stock up, right? So if you stock up more, you will end up overstocking. If you stock up less, you end up understocking. So both of them will cause problem. By performing month to date, quarter date, year to date analysis, you can make a prediction. So next month, how much we need to stock up, right? So what I will do is I will start with the month to date. Just give me a second. I'm getting a call from office. I'll call you back. Ask Ashok to look at it, no? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a matrix. I'm going to use a matrix. And here, what I do is I just go here in the calendar. I just bring in here. I will bring in here 2021. Oh, I don't have much data here. And what I do is I just bring in the sales amount here. And 456. Let me just check. Okay, it is not doing the filtering correctly. So we need to check whether the calendar table and these two are having the calendar table and order date. Okay, here I'm using order date and date. Okay, so let me just check. Let me just go and take. Okay. So there is a problem with the relationship. So what I will do, see, it's already 10:30. Okay. Next weekend, anyhow, I have to cover the Microsoft SQL Server. The time intelligence functions will not take more than 15 to 20 minutes. I will finish up the time intelligence functions next weekend. And followed by that, we'll start the Microsoft SQL Server. I hope all of you have installed SQL Server and SSMS, right? SQL Server Management Studio. Next week, we will cover that. And importantly, we'll show you the demo on rollup function also, all the pending item. Okay, the rollup function and rank X function. So 30 minutes. It will not take more than 30 minutes. Okay, I'll show you next month because it's already late now. I'm getting calls from office also. So I will share this file to you all. Make sure that you are using this file to practice whatever I taught so far. Look here, in these measures I use, look here, I put the commands also here. What are the measures that I used it here? And all selected, all except, everything is there, information function. And we have something called distinct and values and rank X, distinct, and the difference between distinct and values also we discuss in the next weekend. All the pending items, will finish it off next upcoming Saturday, and then we'll continue with the Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. So hope it sounds good with you all. Any questions so far? All right, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session now, and we'll upload the video shortly. Okay, and this file, I will share it to you. And go to the first page, and you can get the gist of what all the measures that I used it. Okay, you can take a look at this. And importantly, look at this one. So cost price for product, sum max, I have used it. So I have used the calculate table here, and just take a look at this. And we have add columns function. This is also, I did not cover it. So you can, if you want to add a column to your existing table, that is also possible. In the fact sales table, I wanted to create a new column by the cost price from product. The thing is, related table pick up the product table pick up the cost price. That's all, right? So this column will have cost price from your product dimension. So using add columns, is it possible to add a column to my existing column? And also, right, so here I've used related table on the fly. As part of add columns itself, I used the related table function, but I've used SumX function. Now the question is, why we need to use SumX function? Can't I use related table? Try without SumX function and let me know your observations during weekdays in this WhatsApp chat, right? You send it to me. And this is one thing for you people to test it out from your side. Okay. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap up the session since you don't have any questions. All right. See you next weekend.